Test 1, 2. Object out in space. People are tracking it. They don't think it's natural. 3i Atlas. What it is, what people are speculating it might be. All right. Let's see what's going on here, chat. Let's see what's going on.
So is 3i Atlas a space rock? Is it an alien craft? Now, you recall back in January, Jeremy Corbell, UFO documentary and filmmaker researcher, obviously been to Capitol Hill. He's met with all of these people. He warned all of us that the lie they were going to tell coming forward now was that we would be visited by some large interstellar craft, would be heading towards Earth. It would be extraterrestrial in origin, and we better batten down the hatches, get ready for it.
Get ready. Now, we did cover this the other day. Yeah, Jeremy Corbell, in a documentary earlier this year, stated from his sources, and he does have high-level military Pentagon sources, apparently. That's what it looks like. He's been feeding us all these, the Tic Tac clip, the octopus, the spaghetti monster, all these military UFO clips that have been coming from the Pentagon. They've officially been stamping these, have been coming through Corbell for the most part, right? And he made a statement about the whole alien threat narrative, okay, but specifically said soon we're going to start hearing from mainstream about an object, alien, coming towards Earth, possibly a threat, yada, yada, yada. Now, this ain't new. If you're rocking with us, this ain't new at all. What's up, Treetop? So, but everybody is referencing Corbell's recent, statement, coming out ahead of all of the mainstream information that we're seeing now about this. And yeah, he was spot on. We are hearing about these objects. Oumuamua was like the first one. You guys remember Oumuamua? That came from wherever and maneuvered all weird, so they were like, yeah, it can't be a natural, right? Changed course, velocity, all this stuff. So that's what's going on so far that I know.
I don't know, turn over all of our biometrics, give up all of our freedom, all of that. That's what was coming. He said it would be a big lie. Get ready for it. And then
So that's the other part of why the authorities want to frame this as a threat, so we can, oh my God, what are you going to do to help us? Okay, well, yeah, do this, Yeah, like they always do, right? Problem, reaction, solution, right? That's very common. I think most of us know about that, that game. That's a very old tactic that's been used since forever, right, against the masses.
On cue, just a few short months later, sure enough, now reports are 3i Atlas heading towards Earth on sort of a collision course of sorts. Here's the Daily Mail. Mysterious interstellar object aiming at Earth is not natural, as scientists rule out comet theory. Now, that headline could be construed as misleading because hundreds of scientists have come forward and physicists have said that this is a comet. It is natural. Then you have Harvard scientist Avi Loeb saying there's no tail on this thing, and therefore it's not natural, it's not a comet. Sounds similar to the Philip, can you help me out with this? Even though I know how to...
Oumuamua.
Oumuamua, yep, we were just talking about that.
What? The Hawaiian name, Oumuamua. You remember that from a number of years ago, that long, like, cigar-shaped craft that was sort of giving off weird signals and heading towards Earth in some capacity. Oumuamua. So this is the third in that series now. Here's some images. Here's what Dr. John Brandenburg wrote. 3i Atlas is not a comet. Comets are dirty snowballs of ices and silica dusts, usually dominated by water ice, but also more volatile ices like CO, which vaporize beyond Jupiter. The 2i Borisov, which was the second one in this, displayed this. Oumuamua did not. 3i Atlas is now emulating the latter. So similar.
Okay, so again, these experts are Brandenburg. He sounds familiar. But yeah, so again, these experts, astronomy, science, are chiming in and saying, in their opinion, they don't think this thing is natural. They don't think it's just a comet because of the characteristics, all right, it's displaying, which are different from a normal comet, as I guess, they know it, right?
To Oumuamua. Be alert, he says. Well, Ron James, media relations.
See how they throw that? Be alert.
Director for MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, is joining us now. He's also the creator of the film Accidental Truth. And, of course, Ron has to deal with all of these reports that come in at MUFON and then goes out and actually investigates the veracity of these claims. Ron, great to have you here on the show for the first time. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me on. I'm a real fan.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I've been a fan of MUFON for a very long time, going back to my childhood. So it's great to have you on here. So Jeremy Corbell's comments in early part of the year about being warned about this lie that's being perpetrated. Then you have Avi Loeb from Harvard and others now saying that this is clearly not this is not natural. This is not a comet. What are you guys at MUFON dealing with on this subject right now? Can you help us parse this?
Well, MUFON is dedicated to the scientific understanding of the phenomenon. And what we're looking at here.
Nice jacket.
Is we've got Avi Loeb and we've got John Brandenburg, both of whom I've spent time with and I respect a lot. But there is not a great deal of other opinions that are lining up to promote this as some kind of unnatural item that's coming through the galaxy. So NASA is still billing it as a comet. There are some unusual aspects.
Oh, so definitely. If NASA says there's nothing to worry about, then we should believe NASA, right?
To it, certainly, but there's nothing definitive that could make us say, yes, we support the idea that this is an artificial craft at this time. But we can't disallow it either.
Yeah, we can't just allow it. But others
we can't disallow it.
Disallow it, exactly. You're right. So then what do you make of Avi Loeb's comments on this? I'm hearing from other insiders and physicists and friends who are saying that this is definitely just a rock. Like, what would be the motivation for Avi Loeb to be saying that this is some sort of an alien tech that's heading our way? Like, what's the motivation? And maybe you could tie this to what Jeremy Corbell was warning us about. Like, what's the motivation for lying?
So again, the fact that they're propping up Corbell as the guy, okay, that has rang the bell about this, space invasion, scenario, psyop, whatever you want to call it. Now, again, that's been out there for quite a long time. Again, things that, make me to basically call bullshit, is like, well, okay, Corbell, but he's not the only guy. Like, there were people before. He's not the only guy that spoke out about the alien threat narrative, right? So again, these things to me cause me to have, look, we can't believe anything these people say face value, right? But the fact that they want to prop Corbell up, it seems like it's the language, y'all, that I'm going off of. Okay, just so y'all understand. When you keep hearing certain things, over and over again, what does that mean? They want you to, they want to drill that into your head for some reason, right? And the Corbell thing is sets off whatever you want to call it. I take notice. It's no big deal, red flags, nothing like that. But I do take notice of that. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. My bad. I forgot what button does what.
To us, if it is a lie.
Well, it's interesting. Avi has made his way into the limelight with these kinds of claims. It started with the Oumuamua that he claimed was potentially an unnatural craft, and then he raised some money and went and pulled magnets across the bottom of the ocean, trying to recover items from under the ocean from a meteorite. which we still don't have the complete data on that yet. And now,
so MUFON, so this guy from MUFON is kind of, I don't know. He seems like he doesn't like the fact that some experts are saying this thing is not the natural, it's not a comet, it's something else. So he's right now, what he's doing is trying to poke holes in Avi Loeb's, theory, opinion. Again, which, causes some things to grab my attention here. MUFON, man, what do you guys think about MUFON? What's up, Bruce? Yeah, things that make you go, MUFON, I don't know, man. It's kind of, it is what it is. I'm just observing, and I'm just, giving my opinion as we go here. It seems to me like this guy is trying to debunk, the theory that it's, the opinion that it's not a natural comet. What do you guys think? That's what I'm getting so far from this guy. MUFON, whatever guy. I can't remember his name.
this new phenomenon is something that he's also calling attention to, the idea that there's some unusual characteristics about it that could potentially point to an artificial origin. And all of that is perfectly fine. But we do have a history of not claims, because he doesn't claim that this stuff is fact, but we do have a history of him calling attention to things that remain inconclusive. Now, nothing against.
Okay. Do you see how they look? The language, people. Pay attention. Like, that's what I'm learning out here. Pay attention to not what they say. I mean, what they say is important, but how they say it. So again, what did he just say right there? Well, the stuff he's put forward has been inconclusive. Okay, that's how science is supposed to work, right? Okay, you're supposed to ask questions. You're supposed to, go down different avenues if you're looking for answers to stuff. You're not supposed to set up this rigid, view and say, okay, that's it. Again, what do we know? That's what these people have been doing our whole lives. Humans, life started at this point and blah, 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 and that's it. That's all there is to see. And that's, that's it. No, that's not it. We don't know. Nobody knows everything. So the fact that this guy is, low key, he's low key, you can't say the guy is full of shit. He's just saying, well, he had some theories that were inconclusive. Well, fuck, he's a real scientist, and he's trying to figure out shit, right? That's what you do. What do you guys think?
Avi, I respect his work a lot, and as a Harvard astronomer, took a lot of courage for him to come forward with some of these ideas, and they may yet prove to be true. And then with Jeremy Corbell and what he said about us being deceived by the claim of an extraterrestrial spaceship coming toward Earth, I've been talking to the same people in Washington that he has. I travel in some of the same circles in D.C., and also, there's a researcher named Richard Dolan who put out a book and series about false flag operations. One of them was called Project Bluebeam.
Right. So, yeah, Richard Dolan. If anybody should get credit or, for bringing this stuff, to the public's attention, Richard Dolan is one of those people, okay? We, myself, I've learned, basically, man, Richard Dolan, between his books, his documentaries, okay, his YouTube channel, okay, and his website, Richard Dolan Members, which I'm a member of. I just got to notice my payment didn't go through. I'm a subscriber. I got to fix that. But I've been a member of his, where he has, look, if you want to really learn about the subject, Richard Dolan has been doing a good job documenting all this information, okay? And so that's why, again, it's like, what's with trying to prop up certain people when, there have been people out here doing this work for decades. Corbell's new, all right? Corbell is new to the scene, man. He just popped up, maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I don't know. He popped up and then linked up with George Knapp, again, another OG in the modern era UFO research, man. Back in the 80s, Area 51, Bob Lazar, that's George Knapp. Brought all that out, to the public attention. So, this Ron James, MUFON, I think at this point it's kind of controlled opposition. This probably has been for a long time. What do you guys think? Bruce, appreciate the likes.
The idea that we would be faked out about alien craft coming for the purpose of reshaping society and anything else they could do while they had us under control. Jeremy's kind of espousing that same sort of principle. A false flag operation, in my opinion, is not a likely scenario, because in this day and age, you could have video of a flying saucer hovering over a city. Nobody's going to believe it. They're going to think it's all fake. And
yeah, this guy. Yeah, my bullshit meter is starting to
fake. And
yeah, this guy. Yeah, my bullshit meter is starting to peak with this guy here. Mr. MUFON.
So I think if they tell us something's coming, it's going to be because something's coming. And I think that might have a lot more to do with why we're getting this limited disclosure from Washington, D.C., is because there is a time limit on how long they have to get the information out to the public. And so we're dealing with this right now.
What are you hearing about this October 29th timeline? That come October 20, I think it's 29th, maybe I'm wrong about this, something is going to happen. Like we're getting close to maybe it's some sort of a limited disclosure, some larger scale disclosure. You heard President Trump asked about a couple of questions about the massive drone sightings over the East Coast last year.
The drones. Yeah, Bruce, we've all seen the video. Yeah. Look, people, and that's, again, to go back and give credit where credit is due with Mr. Richard Dolan, who has been documenting these encounters, okay, by military eyewitnesses, that go back decades and decades. Richard Dolan's one of those guys, okay, that has, again, did the work, got all this information together, and, and then shared it publicly, right? So that's why it's one of the reasons, I know what I know about the subject. A lot of you people, who follow Richard Dolan, know what I'm talking about. So again, this whole thing about 2014, what was that? The Tic Tac thing, 2014, okay, with the official, okay, acknowledgement, we'll call it, of the UAP. They want to change the name. We're gonna call them UFOs. We ain't changing, But so if you're like me, you know about these pilot sightings, military and commercial. Okay, not only pilots, but at sea, aircraft carriers, commercial vessels. Again, highly qualified witnesses have been reporting, okay, on seeing these objects, again, for over 50 years. Just to put it, it's been longer than that, but we'll just say at least 50 years, right? So, and that's what I'm talking about. Shit that's on the record, okay? Shit that the military has reported, shit that people, again, highly qualified witnesses have reported, right? All this stuff has been going on for quite a long time. So yeah, agree with you, Bruce. Like we all, some of us know. We don't need the Pentagon, We never needed the Pentagon to tell us that, oh yeah, there's something out there flying around. We don't know what it is. If you're like me, you already knew this, right?
Here, Tulsi Gabbard says that she's seen these documents, and I think she claims that the veracity of these documents, she can't talk about them, but that they are real.
Yeah, I can't. My bad, y'all. Not really. I'm not sorry. So again, the whole political front-facing aspect of this now is comical to me. Okay, because again, now we got these politicians. Okay, if you're like me, all politicians are full of shit. Okay, all they do is lie through their teeth, day in and day out. That's their job. Okay, so we don't believe anything they say. Don't mean we can't. They're not saying something that might be truthful. It's a matter of reading between the lines, what they're focusing on, what they're not focusing on, as far as trying to get some, pertinent information from these people. Like, they just don't tell you anything useful, right? You got to figure it out. That's my opinion. So, again, Tulsi Gabbard, again, what have they been doing this whole time? The congressional hearings and, there's stuff. There's stuff. I can't tell you what exactly it is, but it's important. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. That shit's annoying to me, but it's comical. We're here for the bullshit, yo. We are here for it.
And the fall, right? It's perfect in time for Halloween, right? What do you make of that?
Well, we always get these deadlines and timelines. We had it in 2012 for, a major example. So
speaking of deadlines, timelines, again, this is a tactic these people use to try and control the information, control the narrative. They always set, that's the thing. They're always setting these deadlines. They're always setting these restrictions. That's all. If you're rocking with me or rocking with the conspiratorium, all right. Again, all these are tactics to do what? Control the information. To do what? Control our perception of what's going on out here. Okay. So I don't know how far deep down the rabbit hole, whoever's tuning in, welcome. If you're not that far down with it, we've been looking at this shit for a long time. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about, but if you want to learn, hey, like I said, Richard Dolan on YouTube, look him up. Start there. All right. Between his books, his YouTube channel, his website, you can learn, that's where all the good information, he's got it all laid out. And where if you're starting fresh, a lot of information to learn out here with this topic, right? And so, you can learn if you want to. But so, the whole deadline thing, again, these things, when I hear, October, like I think that's what Corbell said. November is coming. The alien mothership, PSYOP thing. They're saying it's coming in November. Again, like, why do these people have to set these, deadlines and shit? It's because that's how they do things. It's a tactic they use to control the information and to control, again, what we think we know or whatever you want to call it, our perception on things. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the chat there.
There's always these times in the not too distant future where something major is supposed to happen. I have not heard anything inside of Washington, D.C., and I talked to a lot of the people that you see on TV, the Congress people involved. I haven't heard anything that says there's some kind of definitive date. Now,
and the fact that this guy is like, yeah, I'm talking to the I know what's going on because I'm talking to the people in Washington. Nah, you don't know what's going on. See, if you're rocking with us, if you're one of these insiders, what's this guy's name? Ron James, MUFON. So see, that's why, like, these people that are trying to that are connecting themselves with the authority, as far as credible information on UFO shit, fuck out of here. Okay, I don't want to hear about you're talking to the people in Washington. Washington, and all these people have been telling us for how long that UFOs, nothing to see here, blah blah blah. They were ridiculing people, discouraging serious scientific inquiry into the subject for years and years and years, decades and decades. If you were a serious scientist and you tried to look into UFOs, you would lose your job, lose your funding. The same people, that's the same people he's saying, hey, I'm getting all my information from. That's who was doing that. And now we're supposed to trust these people for some real information on the subject? No. We ain't even, miss me with that bullshit. I don't even want to hear it. Let me know what you guys think.
Being said, the managers of this information that have been keeping it a secret from people for almost 100 years now, they understand that at some point they've got to let the cat out of the bag. But how they do that is up for debate. What we've seen is that since 2017, they've tried to seize control of the narrative and parade out a few select people to tell us a few select facts.
I do agree with him there. He is 100% correct there.
Because if the whole truth were to come out in some kind of catastrophic disclosure, the people that would be accountable for the fact that they've hidden this from humanity for all this time, and the potential crimes against humanity that come from, say, for instance, covering up a new alternative energy or covering up technology that could have taken humanity in a whole different direction, these people would have some explaining to do. So what?
All right, I do agree with him there, but here's my thing with that. You cannot. It's y'all been fucking around for too long. Okay, the people that have been trying to keep a lid on this, and because of the advancement in technology, everybody knows electric cars is not fucking viable. Everybody knows rocket propulsion is not fucking. That's old tech. All right, everybody knows there is more advanced shit out here. All right, well, if you're rocking with us, you do. Okay. So all this idea of, well, they're trying to figure out how to disclose it. Fuck all that. It's y'all made this mess, all right? You ain't controlling it. These people are not they're not gonna rest themselves. The idea that, people are gonna be held accountable. Bullshit. All right? They're not gonna put themselves in jail, okay? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Just fucking, but again, it's about control. It's about, these motherfuckers are talking about, they got us, what they trying to make us believe. Elon Musk, Tesla. Look, he stole the Tesla's name. Tesla was talking about way more advanced shit and had, theorized and proven more advanced shit as far as energy goes, right? Before they shut him down. Okay, and what are these people? And they got the nerve. This is the shit I see now. They got the nerve to take that man's name and put it on some bullshit electric car company and tie it to this guy. Again, Elon Musk, great guy, very intelligent, done a lot of innovative things, sure. Electric cars ain't gonna fucking save the planet. We all know that's old tech. All right. From what I understand, electric cars, motherfuckers came out with that shit in the 1800s. All right. Or damn near a long time ago. Early 1900s, people were fucking around with electric cars. Again, just like rockets. We all know. Come on. What are you talking about? That's the best you can do? Rocket propulsion? No. There's more advanced, more exotic, more efficient. All right. Energy options out here, and these people are keeping it under wraps, okay, for their own reasons. I'm not even going to speculate. We all know they're greedy, they're greedy fuckers, and they just want to, control everything and get all the wealth from it, I guess. But it's getting to the point now you can't. Come on, it's fucking, almost 21st century. You're telling us rockets, and gas and electric cars is the best y'all could do. Okay, get the fuck out of here. Everybody knows this, so I don't understand. These people are just bullshitting. They just kick the can down the road as far as they can, I guess. We should all have Jetson cars now. You guys, you rocking with us? Remember the Jetsons? Yeah. Look, because back then that shit was coming out like that. And then they put a kibosh on all that shit. You guys know what kibosh is? They clamped down because yes, all that shit was, emerging back then. That's where Jetsons and these cartoons, that's where all that shit came from. Ray guns and shit. Look, Star Trek. Come on, Star Trek in the 60s and 70s. Look, all that shit these people have known. Okay, and again, they're keeping up. They want to keep a lid on it, but it's it's becoming too obvious, in my opinion. Okay, you can't keep a lid on this. The better energy options. You just, I guess you could try. I guess they're going to try. I mean, But all I'm saying is we all see the obvious, right? Yeah, again, we can go on medical advancement. Again, everything shit that should be, cures for certain ailments and stuff. Right. That's the big pharma and, the Western, look, we all understand. That's a whole nother show. In my opinion, I think they cannot agree on, okay, and this is one theory I have about why none of this, sci-fi technology is available yet. Like, really, we should all electricity. We shouldn't be paying as much as we are, and everybody should have access to electricity. For okay, if you're rocking with us, you understand the advancements, the discoveries that were made decades ago. Okay, that would make electricity, damn near free. Okay, but for some reason, not for some reason, these people want to make their money. Okay, but so the oil business, right? All this stuff. But what was that? Oh, to get back to my opinion on one of the reasons why, there are factions in this, in this scenario. These people all, they collude together, conspiracy. These motherfuckers came up with the conspiracy shit. And then they started trying to ridicule people for asking questions about what they're doing. You're a conspiracy theorist. Well, you're the one that's conspiring to do shit. I'm just telling you, I see what you're doing, But anyway, one of the reasons I think they're trying to keep the lid on this shit, they're trying to figure out how they can benefit. How do we release cheaper energy options and still control it? I think, okay, those people are at odds at how to do that. Who want, and it's their own fucking fault. I don't, it's like, y'all just trying to keep everybody in the 1950s forever. And fuck, here we are, 21st century. You wonder why you got a big mess on your hands, right? You wonder why people are looking at you sideways. Y'all been fucking around too long. That's my opinion. Yeah, Shanghai Festival. Right. Yeah, no, again, we all know technology, man, and better options for energy. These people are just keeping it under wraps. All right. Most people understand this now. Like, and I say that because when you guys comment and give me feedback, you guys know what's up. And so I tend to believe that the majority of people out there know what's up, man. And like, yeah, I'm just tired of hearing of these lame ass excuses. That's all. And yeah, we here for the bullshit. So keep on. Keep it coming. Ron James. Yeah.
We're seeing is this understanding that they're going to have to tell us something. At the same time, they're trying to protect themselves and their industry partners from what really would be an awful lot of accountability. And we're seeing
again. So, because I keep hearing this excuse, anybody in my mind, my opinion, anybody that keeps if you're like me, you've heard, these people, they keep saying this. Oh yeah, they're afraid they're going to have to be accountable. No, they're not. They're not afraid of anything. Okay. Again, they're not going to put themselves in jail. Okay. Nobody is coming to arrest them. They just got to figure out, okay, how do we make money? How do we control the money, or the wealth that's generated from these, more efficient energy options? That's all. It's not about, these people know they're not going to get in trouble because what the fuck? I don't care. I don't want nobody to go to jail. All right. I don't care. I don't want the oil. So-and-so suppressed it. So let's take them to court. No, fuck you. I don't care, man. Just, can we just get on? Like, can we get on with shit and try and catch up a little bit? I think most regular, normal people would agree with me. Like, can't we just get on with shit? Like, I don't care. No, do you guys want somebody to go to jail behind the, 80-plus year cover-up of UFOs and advanced, energy propulsion and technology? Nobody's going to jail. I don't care. I don't want nobody to go to jail. I don't want there to be trials. Just fucking let the shit out. If you're going to charge for it, figure out how you're going to charge for it. But come on, stop telling me Elon Musk is going to save the planet with electric cars. Stop telling me rocket propulsion is all you guys are using, as far as space travelers. Everybody knows we're way past that. You guys, we ain't shit. I'm on the ground. My black ass is sitting right here. All right. I ain't using none of that advanced shit. I'm just saying, stop telling me, you guys. You can tell me what you want. I'm just saying, we know you're lying. And again, if you want people to start trusting what you say, the authority I'm talking about, then stop bullshitting so much. It's too obvious at this point. Hey, Redbone, what's up? I'm trying to get through this video. Hang on.
Seeing this play out in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think maybe that's what's going on with the moon politics right now. I want to get to that in a second, because I sit in the camp that, we've had our friend of the show, Ashton Forbes, on multiple times, but others I've spoken to about free energy, that it exists, that we know it exists. Why are we still paying electric bills? Why are we still paying for all of this gasoline? We have teleportation technology, all of these things. So I sit firmly in that camp from the people that I've spoken to, and I'm sure.
Well, just remember the people.
Right. All this wild shit. People have been proving theoretically and stuff, teleportation, all this shit, levitation, anti-gravity. All that shit's been out there, man, since like the 50s. Okay? At least, you can go back further. You can really find some wild shit. You go back further. But anyway, it's not even necessary. What's up, Mario? Yeah, hey, look, at this point, Mario says be prepared if you see UFOs. That's what they keep saying. Yeah, people are going to freak out. Again, that excuse. Come on. So, at some point, people are going to have to, make some adjustments. We're going to be, at some point, information is going to come out, and we're going to have to deal with it. All right? Everybody's different. Okay? But the idea, okay, that the authority are trying to protect us from any adverse effects, okay? The authority are trying to protect us, our mental stability. Oh, well, we can't release it. Miss me with that bullshit, all right? Miss me with that, okay? Because these same people are responsible for traumatizing and harming and all this other wild shit these people do out here, okay? And they're responsible for co-signing and all this shit. And but at the same time, you want to believe, I'm trying to protect you, man. We can't tell you about this UFO shit. You ain't gonna be able to handle it. You ain't gonna be able to handle it, Pearly. You're gonna have a nervous breakdown, man. So we just trying to help you out. Miss me with that nonsense. All right. Appreciate you, Redbone. What do you guys think? Look, man. You walk, look, have you guys been on TikTok? You seen Space God? The alien guy running around Atlanta? He's the Space God, man, the alien. Look, just get ready. Like, there's going to be motherfuckers walking around. I don't know, but I'm just saying, if I was to see a motherfucker like that for real, I'd be like, okay. Alien motherfucker walking around. Hey, if he ain't doing shit to me, give a fuck. Maybe that's a psyop. Space God the alien getting us ready. Seeing them in real life, huh? Those Space God clips are funny. You guys know what I'm talking about?
People that were paying this stuff to, people were paying the electric bills to, and the people we're buying the gas from, they're the ones that are in charge. And so as long as, if there's any kind of a threat that would dethrone them from running the planet and controlling the population, they're going to do everything they can to delay or even stop that from happening. So, that's it's a sad fact of human nature, but the people that are in charge are not the most caring people on the planet.
Very well said, Ron.